Okay, so now that we have everything we need, we can start thinking about plotting these great circles. Okay, so once again, if you have closed this Anaconda prompt for any reason, make sure you activate the activate mapping environment. So make sure you activate the mapping environment and then open your Spider editor. Okay, so this is the code as we left it last time. We added the ability to, well, we calculated the distance between this point A and these other points B. And we also output B-lat new, B-long new, A-lat new, and A-long new. And so we're going to need those values to actually plot our points on the graph. Okay. So what we need to do is we need to go all the way up to the top of our file. Okay, so previously we've been importing NumPy, the NumPy package. Now we need to import a few extra things as well. Okay. Okay, so this line here, import myplotlib.pyplot as PLT. So matplotlib is a plotting software or a plotting package, and so this is really widely used in the scientific community. It's basically, if you're trying to plot any kind of figure for a scientific journal in Python, most people would use matplotlib. And so we're importing matplotlib as PLT, so the shortcut PLT. And we also need to import a second thing. Okay, so this line, import, if I spell it correctly, import cartopy.crs as ccrs. Okay, so cartopy is the package that will actually plot things on a map for us. Okay, so we have to import this as the shortcut ccrs. And so all we have to do now is actually just tell Python to plot these things. So we're going to come down here at the bottom. Let's say before we print all this information, which we can do some things before that. So I'm going to set up an axis. So I'm basically going to open a figure. AX for axis equals, so I just give my axis a name. I'm just calling it AX. Okay, so I'm just setting up an axis using the matplotlib command PLT. Okay, and I'm also now, I'll just type this out and then I'll explain it. Okay, so I'm setting up this axis and I'm setting up a projection on this axis, which is the Robinson projection. So of course, the Earth is a sphere and we have to project the sphere onto a 2D surface. So I'm using the Robinson projection for that. And I'm putting the central longitude of my map to be at -79 degrees, okay? Well, later on, you can feel free to change this number and see how it affects the plot. Okay, I need to add another couple of commands so that we can see the borders of the countries or the continents. So I'm just going to add x.set global and x.set, x.coastlines. Okay, so that adds in basically the boundaries of the countries or the coastlines, so the continents. Okay, so these three commands here basically just set up a map of the world centralized around this longitude -79. So now I actually need to plot a few things on here. So plt.plot, so I'm using matplotlib to plot something. Okay, so I need, okay, the way that this works is I'm going to put my longitudes here first. So A-long new, comma, And so the first point I'm going to plot is going to be in B long nu, and it's going to be the 0th, or the entry in position 0. So B long nu, entry in position 0. Okay, so now I've got my longitudes there, comma, now I'm going to put my latitudes. So A lat nu, B lat nu, position 0. Okay, so we're gonna, the first position in this array of B values is position 0, so that's 61. Okay, I want to give my line a color, so using the American spelling of color, color equals blue, so my line is going to be blue. And I also want to transform my line so that it's a great circle line. So let me write this here, transform equals CCRS dot geodetic with 2 open brackets at the end there. So this command, this transform line, this avoids me just having a straight line. If I just take 2 points and let it plot, it will just plot me a straight line every time. But what I actually want are the great circles. So this transform gives me the great circles. Okay, let me repeat that for the second point in B and make the color of the line red. So the second point in B is in position 1. Okay, so now I should have 2 lines on my plot. And I also want to save my plot, right? So I'm going to plot plt.savefig. And now I can call it whatever I want. I might call it worldmap.pdf. So believe it or not, along with the 2 extra packages we have to import, this is all we have to add to produce a plot of the shortest distance, or the great circles between point A and B. So I'm going to save and run that, and if there are no bugs or anything, I should get a map produced in my console here, which is showing the great circles between points A and B, A and B0 and A and B1. I should also find, though, if I go into the folder where my Python codes are stored, I should also find this worldmap.pdf that we outputted. So I can open that and you can see it's the same as we saw on the console. So my suggestion to you is to, well, just try a few points. Try plotting the great circles between various points and just see what they look like on this map. I also notice here I put 1 command for every plot I wanted to do. My suggestion to you would also be to go away and try and write this in a way that it loops through the entries in B, so that you, if you have 2 points or whether you have 1,000 points, it can automatically plot these great circles, no matter how many points you have. So I'm going to leave that as an exercise for you. Again, feel free to get in touch if you have any issues. You might also notice in the guide here, part 1 of the guide, that we plot different points in the guide. But there's also a further example that you may like to try as well for yourself. So you should get something like this in that other example. Okay, thank you very much.